Hey everybody! Okay, this is my first trailer reaction ever, so bear with me. I hope it goes okay. But we're going to take a look at Civil War, which is set to come out in the spring of 2024. And it's written and directed by Alex Garland, I believe. Garland. And he's made some good movies. He wrote the script for 28 Days Later. Maybe the book, I'm not entirely sure. Wrote and directed Ex Machina and also Annihilation, which wasn't too bad. The grizzly bear scene really kind of grossed me out. But, he's done some really good work. So, and like judging from as a factual, as conveying fact and laying down facts, he's pretty good, and that's what we're going to look into with this movie, Civil War. And I was kind of wondering how he's envisioning this to play out and how true to form that might be in the real world, in a real world scenario. So I guess we'll just take a look at the clip, the trailer, and I'll stop periodically and make comments and then follow up in the end. So here we go.
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The three-term president assures the uprising.
Okay, so they'd already set the stage for certain states have seceded. 19 states. I guess my question is, have these states... Is there a legacy in a time frame leading up to this event in the movie that the states separated and formed their own unions a while ago, and then, or is this a recent thing? But it looks like it's hitting the fan right now. So let's continue.
Will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
I find that line really funny. It's a pretty huge civil war. What civil war isn't huge? Are there like just small, medium, and large civil wars? Anyway, let's keep going.
Try to stay out with what we see on the news. Seems like it's for the best.
You can't sit on a fence during a civil war and stay out of the cities. Okay, so the two-star flag, I presume that is Texas and California. And I'll put up later, but there's a map used in the movie, sort of delineating what regions of the countries have factioned off into their own union states, country states, nation states. And I find it weird that, Texas and California, or California and Texas, are banded together despite their geographical distance. And I don't know how that would work, as far as supply lines, moving troop movements. It's such a vast, it's actually it's cordoned off by another rivaling nation, I suppose. But then again, I don't know. I'm just watching the trailer. But I thought that was an interesting thing to mention.
Citizens of America.
The so-called Western forces of Texas and California
Have suffered a very great defeat.
There's the map.
Of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against America?
Yeah, you don't want to be in the cities. Get the hell out of the cities.
We're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death. Flooded.
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home.
Okay, yeah, that line she brings up, that she says, Kirsten Dunst's character, as a foreign correspondent, I'm guessing a war correspondent, she's probably covered a lot of different, war zones, Yemen, Syria, maybe Iraq, Afghanistan, you name it. The fact that she mentioned, like, I was doing, I'm doing this work to basically to let people back home know what's going on in these countries, the atrocities, the war, the death, the famine, all that nasty stuff, with the hope that, this would be a wake-up call to her home country to not follow the same folly. And now here we are, Civil War
Won't do
breaking
this,
out in the U.S.
but here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? We're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you?
Oh no.
You don't know?
Oh boy. Well, cool shades. I'll give him that. Yeah, that's another scary thing. Just it's funny because I had been reading some comments about the movie, and a lot of it is people joking about what might happen, or what's the cause of the Civil War, or their sort of academic suppositions about the Civil War, without actually sort of thinking about the human cost of a civil war in their own nation, what their life would be like, how life becomes cheap, and basically everyone's an enemy that isn't in your fold. So yeah, that's a really scary kind of idea to tinker around with, because once it happens, there's really no stopping it. And people are going to get drawn. Lines are going to be drawn, and if you're on the wrong side of the line, then you could just become, dirt map fodder, if you know what I'm saying.
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
And the press better do a good job this time, huh? And yes, they do.
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America.
There you go. Civil War. Spring 2024. So yeah, it's a really compelling trailer. It looks like a good movie. But just like so many other movies lately that are leaning into this predictive programming mold, it's starting to get a little concerning, I find, for me anyway. And I'm sure other people share the same sentiment, because you just look at the division. Like, I'm in Canada, and this country is not a serious country anymore, number one, and it's heading down the road to ruin deliberately. But you vote for people, you vote for politicians and parties, and in this case, you're almost immediately lied to and not bear baited, but just baited into a trap. So, and then you look at all the basically the trivial division tactics that are being used to divide us, distract us, allows this kind of thing to happen, right? It almost seems like it's the events they're talking about are already scripted, and it's just a matter of time and stage setting in order to basically roll this stuff out. So yeah, in the past, I've really enjoyed like apocalyptic entertainment, movies, books, etc. And I still do, but I think now it's just tempered with the realization that it's not just apocalyptic porn, if I can say that on YouTube, but apocalyptic entertainment. It just seems that there is an agenda that is being rolled out, and in predictive programming, which is essentially making entertainment about, for example, civil war or environmental destruction or polar reversals, all these things that lead up to the near end of civilization are it just seems too coincidental. The timing seems too good. And also, I did a review. The last video I did was on Leave the World Behind and the fact that the Obamas were one of the pairs of executive producers on that. And I just find it really creepy that an ex-president of the United States who has more information, like, granted, he doesn't know everything about, what's going on in the deep state, but he knows a hell of a lot more than the rest of us do. And funny enough, the name of their production company is called Higher Ground. So, when it hits the fan, those in the higher ground have a greater chance of survival. Who knows? Maybe that's just a whimsical coincidence. But that all being said and laid out, I'll definitely watch this movie, but I'm going to watch it with a clinical eye instead of just turning my brain off and going, yeah, that's so cool. They blew up the Washington Monument. I think we all could benefit from a little more critical thought and thinking about our actions. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but... And also getting prepared. Maybe that wouldn't hurt, I mean, if something like this were to happen, I mean, honestly, the casualty rate would be just astronomical. And, unless you're in a bunker, unless you have a tank, unless you're loaded to the gills with weaponry or food or whatever, I mean, you still got to defend that stuff, And, yeah, I don't know. But it looks like a cool movie. I'll definitely check it out. And on that note, I guess please like, and above all, please subscribe to my channel, because I mentioned before how Canada is going down fast. I only see maybe a couple of years before this country turns into something unrecognizable, and I want to get the hell out of here. And I really like doing content for you guys, so yeah, if you could just do a simple gesture of subscribing, that would be amazing. Anyway, on that note, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too tense. And just thanks for watching, and I'll try to do some more of these. Anyway, kind of a beta test, as it is. Alright, thanks everybody. Have a great day.